Let me talk about the impact of the conditionalities that were attached to the loan agreements since 2010. What is the truth about the impact of these conditionalities? They have engineered an economic crisis in Greece, but they have also engineered, most importantly, a humanitarian crisis. And this double crisis itself has made the debt itself more unsustainable, not only from an economic point of view, but also from a human rights perspective. Let me give you one example. Real wages in 2014 were more than 17% lower compared to 2009. This has been a result of the conditionalities that led to a fall in minimum wages, dismantling of collective bargaining institutions in Greece, a fall in public wages, and a massive rise in unemployment. This has led to an unprecedented rise in inequality in a very short time period in Greece. Again, to give an example, the share of wages in national income has fallen from 60% in 2010 to 55% in 2013. This is a 5 percentage point redistribution away from labor, away from wages towards profits, towards capital in a very short time period of 3 years. Now, we are concerned about the rise in inequality, but what does that mean from an economic point of view? What does that mean for public debt sustainability? The fall in the wage share has very crucial negative effects on domestic demand of households, also on private investment. It doesn't help to restore the competitiveness of this country at all. It leads to a massive erosion in growth. But it means it also leads to a loss in tax revenues, higher public borrowing, higher interest payments, and therefore a higher public debt to GDP ratio. Thereby, it makes the debt itself more unsustainable. Our research for the committee shows that alone the fall in the share of wages in national income has led to about 8 percentage points more public debt as a ratio to GDP in Greece. So that means alone the rise in inequality explains more than a quarter of the rise in public debt in this country. Other researchers that have provided their expertise to our committee come up with similar results. For example, a research that has been done in Germany at the Hans Böckler Foundation finds that if Greece hadn't implemented the spending cuts, but only increased its tax revenues through the very administrative reforms to avoid tax evasion, as this government is advocating, public debt to GDP ratio today would be almost 40 percentage points lower. That is a massive damage that has been done to growth and public debt in this country through the very conditionalities that were meant to increase the debt sustainability. So our conclusion is the policy package attached to the memoranda has not only increased inequality, but they have also contributed to lower income, higher public borrowing, a higher public debt to GDP ratio. This has made the debt of Greece economically more unsustainable, but this means the conditionalities have been counterproductive even in terms of their own aims. But most importantly, they have simultaneously engineered a dramatic change in the social fabric of this country. If we want a socially and ecologically sustainable development in Greece, the conditionalities that are being still imposed on this country are simply incompatible with such aims. For this reason, our conclusion is that the Greek public debt is totally unsustainable at the present, not only from an economic but also from a human rights perspective, and therefore the people of Greece have the right to refuse to pay back this debt because this debt is illegal, illegitimate, odious, and totally unsustainable.